Should someone be able to film you in public without your consent? My first guest, Lisa, was dubbed by many as the San Francisco Karen after a video of her went viral.
Is the racist Lisa still CEO at this company? I get these pretty much every day.
I know where you live. I got your apartment number.
You knew that guy that was living there. Now you're gonna pay for it.
Are you a racist?
My identity, my integrity, my personality, and my career was completely stolen from me because someone else decided who I was and what I was saying. June of 2020. I got a call from my niece that something was going on with me on Twitter. My initial thought was complete and utter confusion. And then I realized it went viral. It was people who saw the video. They came to my home with face coverings, baseball bats, and shotguns. They posted my home address and my phone number. I received thousands of these. Your family is dead. Your head is gonna look like we drove over it. Blank you, white, blank. My friends were attacked and my family was attacked.
You knew that guy that was living there. Now you're gonna pay for it, and I'm so happy.
My life as I knew it stopped. I ended up in the hospital. My entire system stopped working. I just got this one. Is the racist bitch Lisa still CEO at this company? I get these pretty much every day. This experience completely took my whole life and just threw it on the floor. I have been trying to pick up the pieces ever since. It's pretty devastating.
Lisa, I'm glad you're here, and you've had a ton of media requests, and you've turned down every media request before tonight. But you said yes to this. Why here? Why now?
I want my life back. It's been almost 4 years, and I've been waiting for a turnaround. I've been waiting for the truth to come out. I've been too scared. Like in the beginning, I wasn't in a position to say anything because my health was affected deeply. And I was so scared of people. I was scared to go outside for basically almost 2 years. And it just kept coming from everywhere. I don't understand why, after 4 years, people can't see the truth. And I thought, you know what, maybe this is a good time for me to tell what really happened, because I want my life back. And I want my career back. I want my business back. I want my family back. And I want my friends back.
And do you feel safe here
Yes,
tonight? Why?
I do. I was approached in a very gentle way, and they were very reassuring to me that this was going to be something that was not another gotcha. It also takes a long time to be comfortable around in front of a camera again when your last experience was that one that changed the entire direction of your life.
Yeah. Getting in front of a camera again is taking a risk. And
Yes.
so you got to trust where you're going and who you're talking to. And this eliminated a lot of things in your life. Your health took a bad turn. It affected your career. This really had a hugely negative and ongoing effect on your life. And you heard me say I'm not going to play the tape. And I don't know if you expected me to play it or not, but I don't want to play it. I don't want to exploit that. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in you.
The actual occurrence happened on a Tuesday. It came out 4 days later. So what happened was, it was like, if you understand the climate in San Francisco at the time,
I do.
it was, as you know, we were all in the midst of the beginning parts of COVID. And I think a lot of people were very nervous and scared and unsure of what was going on. And this was also that absolutely horrific situation with George Floyd had just happened. And so in San Francisco in particular, there was a lot of violence. There was a lot of smash and grabs. There was a lot of vandalism. And they had signs everywhere that said, if you see something, say something. And so I was on a walk with a friend, And I approached a gentleman, and I only saw the back of him, but he was doing some sort of artwork on a wall of my neighbor's house, John's house. And John is an elderly gentleman, and he's lived there forever. And so I knew the back of the person was not John. And so I walked up to this individual, and I had my hands behind my back, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, pardon me, sir, excuse me, sir," and really respectfully, of course. And then he stood up and he turned to me, and then he went and he got his phone and he started doing something. And then he went like this with his phone in my face. And I thought, why is he taking my picture? That's weird. Anyway, so then we had a little conversation where he told me to call the police. And I said, no, why? Because why would I call the police? He's my neighbor, and this is ridiculous, just whatever. So we left. And on Friday, 4 days later, in the early evening, I got a call from 2 of my nephews and my niece saying that there's something going on. All of a sudden, my phone just didn't stop ringing. And every time I picked it up, it was someone saying, like, really horrible things. So then I stopped answering the phone.
Well, here's an example, because this is a letter that was sent to your home. I'll read this. You blank bitch. I know where you live. I got your apartment number. I got your phone number. I got your email. My people gonna blank you up bad. We are all coming to your house and blank you up. We are smashing your blank face with big blank that hurts you. Better not go outside. We are waiting there. So blank you, mother, blank your family is dead. Your head is going to look like we drove over it. Blank you white, blank all you white blanks need to be blank. You are all hoes.
I have a box of this.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. That's upsetting to start getting those about every 5 seconds, right?
Every possible vehicle of social media, Nextdoor, Better Business Bureau, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, because I have a business.
Because I watched this at the time, and I'll be very clear, I don't think you could have been any more polite. You weren't accusatory, you weren't threatening, you were exceedingly polite.
I didn't see what he was writing. Just, I don't know if you knew that. When I walked up, because I came up behind him, I didn't see, he could have been writing, I love Santa Claus. It didn't matter what he was writing. It was the fact that he was doing something on the historical monument house of my neighbor. That was all it was.
Are you a racist?
Absolutely not.
Have you ever had those feelings or sentiments?
No, and if you ask anybody that's ever met me in my whole life, absolutely.
Because there's no evidence of you ever having any racist overtones.
Because I'm not.
You made an apology.
I made many apologies.
Yeah.
I actually went over there the next day because I thought I had hurt his feelings, and I would never want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I wrote a letter, a very heartfelt letter, and I delivered it in person. He was in the other room doing a television interview. So he didn't want to come and talk to me and talk to me about my apology or my letter. So then the press kept calling. And so they said, we're going over to the house. Would you like to have something to say? And I said, would you please ask him to call me? Because he said he wanted an apology. And I'm really I'd like to meet up with him and talk about this, because we're neighbors. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I thought the only way, because he keeps asking for this apology, is if I do it publicly, then he can't say he didn't get it.
Right.
So I wrote that letter, but I also was, I was being bombarded with death threats and everything. And I thought, I mean, it's not like I had people around me to tell me what to do or to advise.
Right.
So I was kind of flying solo, so to speak.
Well, and you're not now. I mean, you've gotten some counsel on this. And joining us is Evan Neerman. Evan is the founder and CEO of Red Banyan, a public relations firm that specializes in high-stakes crisis management. and who also has worked closely with Lisa as a client and friend. So, Evan, should she have written the apology?
No, because she had nothing to apologize for.
I have the same opinion. I felt like, what are you apologizing for? I couldn't find out what it was she was apologizing for. If there was a misunderstanding, it was not on her part. And I think that apology got used against her. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely, and that's the problem with this life that we're living in, a cancel culture world, is in a normal circumstance, if someone does something and they apologize, the person accepts the apology and you move on. But in this cancel culture world, the moment you apologize, whether it warrants an apology or not, all the people who want to pick you apart seize on it and they say, see, they're admitting they did something terrible. They deserve everything they get. So unless you've really done something that warrants an apology and there's someone specific who should receive it, you shouldn't apologize.
Let me suggest an alternative narrative to this. You live in a really nice neighborhood. I mean, it's beautiful homes there, and you're walking along and somebody you don't recognize is writing on the wall. As a neighbor, you go, excuse me, what are you doing here? And a rational person could have turned around and said, I know how this looks, but I actually live here. I rent a room in his house and have for 18 years. John is my landlord, so yeah, I do live here. My name is so-and-so. Let me introduce myself.
I would have said, hi, I'm Lisa. I live right there. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you said hi. You'd have made a new friend and walked on.
Yes.
Seriously, that's how life is supposed to work. I'll give you some advice at this point. You got to take your power back. You got to claim your life back and give yourself permission to move on. You weren't wrong.
One of the hardest things, Dr. Phil, is that, I have a big family. I'm one of 5. And I really love my family. And there's still a couple of my nephews that are afraid of me. Mm-hmm. I went from having a really happy, fun, really positive life with a positive business to being sort of like a pariah. And even less like a year ago, I was trying to help a friend with her tires. I went to the tire store and the man looked up at my thing and he said, oh, I know who you are. And I said, oh yeah, I've been coming here for 25 years. That's what I thought he meant. He goes, no. And he started doing this hand in the thing, and he shouted Black Lives Matter till I ran out of the store. And so it doesn't stop.
Set up your recorder for this and send it to your nephews, send it to everybody else, and find another tire store. They can kiss your You were in the right here, and I'm glad you came here. And I hope you're glad you came here.
Yes, I am now.
All right, good.
Thank you.
All right, we reached out to the man who recorded Lisa for a statement, but he declined to give one.